Hello, everyone. Welcome to Follow Everton. This is the match preview for Newcastle United versus Everton. And it is the final game of the season, the final fixture of the year. And Everton actually don't need any points. We are guaranteed 13th place, the dizzy heights of 13th place, above Manchester United, Wolves, West Ham, Tottenham Hotspur, who've just won the Europa League, and of course, the three relegated teams, Ipswich, Southampton, and Leicester. But that goes without saying that Everton have still got to go and give a good account of themselves. I don't think David Moyes will accept anything less than 100% effort. And Everton do face a few injury concerns, which I'll go to. So I watched David Moyes' press conference earlier today, and he did confirm, unfortunately, that Jared Branthwaite is out for 4 to 5 weeks, of course. This is the final game for us, but he would miss this match and the England game had he been called up. But I think it's time for him to go on some holiday, go and relax, go and enjoy himself. Hopefully he's not the subject of some big transfer offers this summer, because I think he's really important. It's very important we keep some of these really good players, at least for another season, so that we can go into Bramley-Moore Dock with the security of having some of our best players. And I consider the likes of Jordan Pickford, Jared Branthwaite, James Tarkowski, Garner Gay, Iliman and Dye, I consider them as being really vital players for us moving forward. So none of them, we should do our absolute best to keep them. In other injury news, of course, James Tarkowski's injured. Seamus Coleman is out again. He's got a thigh strain. So that's, he's made 4 appearances all season. He didn't play much the year before either. I think we've just got to call it a day. I'm not being mean, but I think it's probably time to just let Seamus go in terms of the playing staff. I don't know what we're paying him. It's £60,000 a week or something like that. So, I think it's time to move on, and by all means, get him on the coaching staff. That would be great. But I don't think he's got a future as an Everton player, certainly not as a first choice right back. And we've got to evolve next season. I can't really think of too many others. I'll just confirm, just to see if there's any other injuries that I need to be made aware of. Give me 1 second. Of course, Oran Mangala has been out for the whole season. Jesper Lindstrom, who's been out for several months and looks like he's going back to Napoli without scoring a goal all season. Who'd have thought a player who didn't score a goal all season at Napoli comes to Everton and hasn't scored a goal at Everton? What a surprise. I do think he's got a good attitude, and I really like to hope he has a really good career wherever he goes after this. So in terms of injuries for Everton, just talked about that, but let's have a little look at Newcastle. They need to win to secure Champions League football next season. Of course, great season for Newcastle. They've already won the Mickey Mouse Trophy, the League Cup. And so, to secure Champions League football for them, a trophy, finishing in the top 5, it'd be an outstanding season. But they do have a few injuries. Let's have a little look. Oh, that's annoying. Lewis Hall, he won't be fit. Joe Linton as well, he won't be fit. He's a bit of a terrier in midfield, really good player. And Kieran Trippier, he is out as well. He's got a bit of a chance to be in, apparently. Isak is another one who's touch and go. He's made good progress. There's a chance to be available. And I think Isak being injured for Newcastle would be transformative. Hi, Wormy. You can see your comments. We've got a way now of bringing them up on the screen, so I hope you like it. The chat will now appear. I don't know how to make it bigger yet, but I really do like this new feature we've got. So keep your comments coming in. But I think Isak would be a massive loss for Newcastle, and I think would give us an easier ride. I mean, with the players we've got in defence, it's going to be Michael Keane and Jake O'Brien and probably Ashley Young at right back. There's not a lot of leadership there. I think Michael Keane, I've made no mistake to say that I think he has one good game, and I think he has 4 or 5 bad games. But I really hope that he signs off potentially his Everton career with a good performance. Young is, of course, he's leaving Everton. I'll come to the departures in a moment, but I'm a little bit concerned about the defence against the likes of Anthony Gordon and Tonali, and of course Isak. But Wilson's still a decent player, but I think we'd be able to deal with him. So yeah, Newcastle are going to be all over us, really up for the game. They've got to win. Everton don't have to win. We don't really have to do anything. I just think for the fans that are going down there, up to Newcastle, several thousand of them, let's go and give a really good account of ourselves. Let's go and make it really difficult for Newcastle. I would love to see us shut them out and stop them getting Champions League football. I think they're a club with a similar size to us in terms of the fan base, and we have to be very careful. And this is why I didn't want Tottenham to win, and I didn't want Palace to win, and I didn't want Newcastle to win the cups, because we don't want teams that are in and around us or where we want to be achieving stuff. I think if a team like Man United have got a big name about them anyway. You know, players are going to sign for Man U because they pay massive money. We're not competing with Manchester United for players, but we are possibly competing with the likes of Crystal Palace. We are possibly competing with the likes of Tottenham. You know, so we have to be. I didn't want Spurs to win because I think that just gives them a get out of jail card. They'll be in a different market for players with them being in the Champions League, the London factor. So I don't want. I didn't like that really, but we have to be very, very careful. I can't remember what my initial point was. I do apologize. Danny Ellis going relaxed and F the Champions League for the. Yeah, that would be great. It would be amazing if we could do that. Danny Murphy and Harvey Barnes. Yeah, they've got pace, and Jacob Murphy's actually had a really good season, Wormy, but I'm not that worried about them. In all honesty, they probably go and score twice against us now. And Shelley, she's saying, don't even want to think about the defense. Really good. So Newcastle have got quality. They play through the thirds, midfield, a lot of pace, threat up front. The defense is solid as well. They're going to give us a really difficult game. How can we cause them problems? Well, I think we need McNeil, Ndai, and Beto to play in cohesion. Can the front three cause Newcastle some real problems? Possibly on the counter-attack. You say McNeil hasn't got a lot of pace, but he can certainly. I don't think any of them have got a lot of pace, but I think it's just a very, very clear for me. It's about getting Beto in behind them, letting Newcastle. If we can shut Newcastle up for say 20 minutes, let the fans get frustrated. Maybe then some of the other teams in the Premier League who they're competing with start winning. Newcastle then start piling tons of players forward. Can Everton then really? Can we overexpose Newcastle in their desperation? And on the counter-attack, get Beto in behind. They play high line Newcastle, get Beto in behind them, one-on-one with the keeper, go and get the goal that he deserved so badly against Southampton. And maybe McNeil, a little bit of creativity from a set piece. Can he get a good ball in? Maybe like Jake O'Brien or Michael Keane get themselves a goal from a set piece. I don't think Branthwaite had scored all season, or Tarkowski, that I can remember. Maybe one. Oh, Tarkowski, of course. Liverpool, but I'm just thinking in general, the headed set pieces, I can't really recall them scoring. So, yeah. So I'd like to see us get a little goal on the counter-attack, thread Beto in, and a second from a set piece, and go and spoil their day. As Pause is saying, you can still bring the big comments up. Hi, Pause. I would love absolutely nothing than holding the horse punches to a draw and the other teams to win to upset their Champions League. I do. This is the point I was making. So I think a team like Chelsea, we're not going to be in competition with Chelsea. We can't compete with Chelsea in terms of the budget, even still, I don't think, and the wages, I don't think at the moment. So you kind of want Chelsea to get there, City to get there. I don't want Villa to get there. I don't want Newcastle to get there, because I think these are clubs that are aiming to be up there. And, you know, we want to compete with them in the market of some description. I don't think it's possible, but yeah. Okay. So it's the final game of the season. We're all looking forward to seeing which players have been leaving. And of course, João Virginia, gone. Begovic, gone. Begovic, he's nearly 40. He maybe wants one last swan song. He played quite well for QPR last season, so maybe he wants to go and have another year somewhere and then retire. Virginia, he's at the age now where he's got to start playing football, let's be honest. He's not a sub keeper. We've got to go and get a sub keeper. I wonder who we'll get. Well, we need two and three, a second and third keeper. It's a massive summer. To be honest, we could have done without all that at the moment. We could have done without having to lose two goalies, because we've already got far too many things to do. I'm also move on. Ashley Young was the next player to be released. Apparently, we offered Ashley Young a new contract. For me, I think in an ideal world, if you only need to sign 5 or 6 players in the summer because you've got a more settled team, you don't re-sign Ashley Young. I think I get it because we 13 players out of contract, so many on loan. I get why we would give Ashley Young a new contract. I don't think the guy is particularly good. I think he was really poor last season. He was the weak link in that defence. I think this season, for the first 3 games, he was terrible. Got sent off against Brighton, was really poor. And then I think he had a good period between sort of match week 3 and match week 21 where Moyes came in. But apart from that, you know, haven't really seen a lot from Ashley Young apart from really good commitment, work ethic, great pro, but that's a bare minimum, isn't it, really? And so Ashley Young will leave. He's nearly 40 in July. I think he'll go and play somewhere, maybe Wrexham for a year, try and get them promoted into the Premier League, which would be absolutely crazy. Then the other player so I think Ashley Young will start on Sunday, in all fairness. And then the other one who's just announced he's leaving, high pause. The other player who's just announced he's leaving, and can someone, if anyone's watching on X or Facebook, would you mind sticking a comment in? Because I want to see whether the little comments thing in the corner shows all comments from all sources. And I really want to know whether I can make this bigger. There's got to be. Why does it make it so small? I mean, they've given us this feature. I mean, what, 40 odd pounds, £35 a month I pay for StreamYard. You can at least make that chat bigger. Is it legible? Can people see it? Is it still good? I want to make it a bit bigger. I'll get onto that anyway. So the next player who got released is Abdoulaye Doucoure, the Mali French footballer, Everton player for 5 years now, signed from Watford for 25 million. I think I've expressed my thoughts on Doucoure. I'm not going to start licking his backside so he comes on this channel and does interviews with me. I will say it as it is. I don't think he's a very good footballer. I think he had a very good period from when Sean Dyche came in for around, say, 2023. But if you look at his statistics in the last 18 months to 16 to 18 months, he's only scored, I think, 4 or 5 goals, maybe not even that. And that's playing as a number 10 with freedom to go and get in the box and score. So it's a poor return when he's played as a number 8. And I'm not talking about his overall career, because Doucoure in the past has been a monster, winning duels, winning second balls, aggressive, tenacious, winning the ball back, making good runs. I get that. But I'm talking about this recent period, this last season and second half of last season. Not enough goals, not enough assists, playing in the 10. In the 8, I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's got the awareness anymore. Too slow, poor distribution, giving the ball away constantly. And again, I get why David Moyes has offered him a contract, because I think as a squad player in a group of 25, his physique, his ability to play different positions, he offers you something there. But, you know, when he said he didn't want to take a pay cut on Toffee TV because he wanted 120 grand a week, I was a bit horrified, because I thought, you've not earned 120. Yeah, you scored a goal against Bournemouth. You scored a good goal against. You scored some goals, key goals. And we are forever grateful for the goal against Bournemouth. You're a legend. You're an Everton icon for that. But we're moving forward. We can't have sentiment anymore. We can't just give players 120, 140,000 pound a week for scoring 3 or 4 goals. I think he had really good, some good moments, but I don't think he had a consistent performance. And I saw him arguing with a fan on an account on Twitter earlier this week, and I thought, this guy's got such a big ego for someone who isn't a Gerrard or a Lampard or an Arteta, or, you know what I mean, like a big top consistent footballer. He seemed to have a bit of an ego with the way he handled that, and I was a bit like, whoa, you know, he's arguing with fans on Twitter. We saw a very similar situation between well, I wouldn't say similar, but just interaction between Calvert-Lewin's missus and an Everton fan on Twitter. And I think that's completely different. I think personal abuse shouldn't be tolerated, but at the same time, you know, we're all entitled to have our own opinions. I don't think he's particularly good. I want to know what people think in the comments. I just think we need to evolve as a team. Um, and if we're going to start playing possession football, it's not Doucoure for me. If we're going to start playing counter-attacking football, he's fairly decent, but he's not bagging us enough goals and hasn't got enough speed to get up the pitch. So we'll see. But I am just going to change 1 second. Just want to change my signal here, make it better. I think Doucoure is possibly living off the goal against Bournemouth at the moment, and I think he needs to give his head a wobble. I didn't like how he came across on Toffee TV, saying we're not allowed to talk about his wages. Well, we pay his wages. We're the fans. We go home and away. We pay for the season tickets. We pay for the stupid memorabilia for Goodison Park, 1892 to 2025, when we've even kept the stadium. So let's agree we can all have our own thoughts on this, and it doesn't mean we don't respect him and love him for that goal and think he's an iconic player. I just think next season we've got to move on. I get why we've offered him the new deal, and what bugged me about this is he'd come out and say he loves Everton, he's desperate to stay. We offered him a contract. If you love the club, you've been offered what, 60, 70 grand a week. What is your problem? What can you possibly do? I'm not a socialist or by any means, but what can you possibly do if you already have earned 25 million in this Everton contract, plus whatever he got in his Watford career, because that's what he's been earning, let's say 100 grand a week, minus tax. You know, even if he's pocketed 10, 12, 13 million pound in his Everton career, plus signing on fees and bonuses and all that, why? What difference is another 2, 3 million? You're a footballer. You want to play where you want to play. If you want to play at Everton next season, find a way to do it. I don't get it if it's money. I get it if it's appearances, and I think that's what it was with Young as well. We're not going to guarantee them game time. We can't guarantee Doucoure game time. We can't guarantee Ashley Young game time because of where we want to go. We want to go another level. Are any of these players able to step up to a team fighting for Europe? I'm not so sure. Are they a decent squad player to come in to offer something different, as substituting in occasional games, possibly? But where are we going as a club? If we're going for possession, if we're going for counter attack, we need pace. If we're going possession, we need technical quality. If we're going to just go and low block and more of the same, then I get it. Pay him the £140,000 that he thinks he's worth. But in the short term, yeah, I guess we just got to see where we're going as a club. I think we've got big expectations. Now we've got 3 more players to deal with. Calvert-Lewin is another. I don't necessarily think this guy's got an ego. I don't really know. I think his missus thinks he's better than he is, possibly. I'm not trying to fall out with every Everton player here. Calvert-Lewin is our 3rd or 2nd top scorer in the Premier League era for Everton. So huge respect to him, but he has been at Everton 9 years. He's scored 50, 60 goals in 10 years. He scores 4 or 5 goals on average a year. Only 2 seasons he scored more than double figures. One of them 13, one of them 19 or 20. The last season he scored that sort of goal was 5 years ago under Carlo Ancelotti. Times have changed. I think if he wants to stay and be one of 4 strikers to offer us something with that great leap, that athleticism, a very good hold-up play. On his day, Calvert-Lewin is an unbelievable striker, but unfortunately, no consistency. The last few years, even though he's got over his injuries, he's not scoring goals from open play. I think there was one year he was three penalty goals and 1 off his backside. So the Dominic Calvert-Lewin one, I don't think he's getting the contract he wants. Does he want to be part of a squad moving forwards, playing occasional football, substitute? One of 4 strikers. I hope we get a really good technical, nimble forward, keep Beto, and then someone like Liam Delap. I think we've got to have strikers, and we're going to try and raise the club's level. We've got to have more than just 2. But yeah, DCL leaves this summer with all the abuse his missus has had, and he hasn't got a good relationship. I think the relationship with Calvert-Lewin, is not necessarily attitude, but I think it is, or work rate, because he's been a great, like Doucoure, he has been a really good servant for Everton. But I'm talking about his consistency and his end product. Calvert-Lewin, not enough goals. You're playing centre forward. You've asked for over 100 grand a week. No, 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 no. Emma, I agree with you, sweetheart. I'm fed up of hearing about it as well. We don't need drama. Wormy, when you ask me about this, I think about like when we played Liverpool and he was just completely dominating them. He's not a great finisher, is he, Peter? He never really was a striker. I'm not here to slag players off. As I say, good luck to Doucoure and thank you for everything. But same with Ashley Young, but we need to move on. So one of the players are out of contract. Hi, Adieri. How are you? Callum Wilson swap deal for Liam Delap and Jonathan David to Newcastle. Newcastle should shine Mark Gay, Brian Mbuenu, Angel Gomez, Jonathan David, Liam Delap. These would be good players for you. Be very good players for you, I think. Hit the like and subscribe button if you're enjoying the show. Keep your comments coming in. I hope you like the new feature. The comments now will show on the stream, which is really good. I think we can get rid of the banner now. We don't need it spinning. It's the same rubbish over and over. 104 of you watching. Thank you so much. 26 of you on YouTube. 78 on X. Thank you for sharing your Friday night with me. Probably wants a big signing on fee if he signs another contract, doesn't he? He doesn't feel loved and appreciated. The fact is, he is another signing that's been overpaid, got us in the match. This is exactly the point. Giving these big contracts out to players that don't deserve it or haven't performed is exactly why we have got in this mess in the first place. Okay, I'm going to move on because I'm quite tired. The other two players who may be leaving and playing the final game against Newcastle is Michael Keane. I think Michael Keane, for me, I don't know how he managed to get 250 appearances in the blue shirt. I think he was very good for two spells. 18-19 under Marco Silva playing alongside Kurt Zouma, and 2020, 2021 under Ancelotti when he had we had basically Seamus Coleman playing in a back three, and we had very defensive fullbacks, Ben Godfrey and Mason Holgate. Oh my God, he's leaving in the summer, thank goodness. So, and he's like our longest serving player, isn't he, Mason Holgate? It'll be 10 years, I think. Can't believe he's still here. So, Keane, he'll probably be leaving. He'll get his appearance tomorrow. David Moyes actually did say there in his press conference, he said he'd be happy for all of them to stay because of how they're playing now. So, let's see. But I just think with Michael Keane, it's just time to move on. Thank you so much for not winning headers against Ollie Watkins and getting beaten in the air by weak, smaller players. Honestly, Michael Keane, such a nice guy, but I don't think he's a level to play consistency. If he's going to take 40 grand a week and play maybe less than 10 appearances, filling in gaps and that sort of stuff, then okay. Are you getting a better fourth choice? I'm not sure, but Gas Pipe is saying I'd give Keane another season. So, what do you think? Are you happy Doucoure's gone? Are you happy Young's gone? What do you think of the goalkeeper situation? What do you think of Michael Keane? Would you keep him? What do you think of the other bloke? I can't remember. We've just been talking about. Oh my God, goodness me. I'm going to move on. Jack Harrison, a big no for me. Thank you so much. Amazing work rate, but he's just got the one goal this season and no assists. It's a big no-no. Big absolute no. We've got to go better, but I know David Moyes likes him. Read the room, David. Lindstrom, again, another one. I think he has really good work rate and is quite quick, but we didn't see any end product, so I don't know how you can even consider Lindstrom. Alcaraz is a difficult one because he looks to me a young player that can chip in, didn't score many goals, but I think he was just hamstrung playing left wing, right wing. I think over a season he would have got goals playing as a 10. And I think he's got an assist in him. He proved that. in some of the games we didn't win, where we played away from home against the likes of Brentford, he was really good in the 10. He fed Beto so much that he would have been bursting out of his t-shirt on Christmas Day before Christmas. Oh, it's a terrible analogy. He's got quality. I like him. I like his work rate. I like his physique. I like his build. I like his tenacity. I think he's got goals and assists in him. I just think we've got to be really careful. Pause. Jack Harrison's on over 100 grand a week, so I wouldn't be surprised. You can't be giving £100,000 a week to a player that doesn't score or assist and as a winger. It's like paying £400 a day to a plumber who doesn't know how to fix a tap. I mean, for God's sake. The only other player I can think of, if there's any other names people want to talk about or anything else anyone wants to speak about on the show tonight, the only other one I'm touching on is Garner Gay. I think he's the one we have to sign. I think he's got another year in him. Yes, his legs have gone, but that experience. And when you play in a team, we're not going to play we are playing a higher line. We are squeezed up the pitch. In general, we're not really low block, sit back, everyone behind the ball and hope for the best. We do have a go in games. And I think when you do that, because you've got Branthwaite and O'Brien who are quite quick, Garner doesn't have to cover the full pitch. I think when you're squeezed up, you can get around half the pitch a bit easier. And he's a very, very, very good player on his day. He's arguably the best defensive midfielder, out and out ball winner, ball tackler in the league. The thing with him, though, his friend Doucoure is going. I think he'll go to Saudi Arabia. He loves the club so much, Doucoure, but then he goes and wants a better offer for the money. Like he hasn't got enough. Garner Gay, I think this is going to be personal because if he stays, he's going to play a lot of football. Although I do think central midfield is a massive area, but it's just going to be personal preference if he wants to go and have one last payday in Saudi Arabia, and he's a Muslim, so he might enjoy being in that environment, or does he want to go and I wouldn't blame him, to be honest. Does he want to go somewhere else? I can't see him in America or I can't see him. He'll either go at Everton, retire, or go to Saudi. I just don't see any other I don't see any other way of dealing with it. But maybe he want to play in Bramley more. Maybe he want to play in a better Everton team because he's been part of a terrible Everton team for quite a few years, having to do a lot of donkey's work. But then again, let's think about this. Let's try and be rational. If we're going to evolve as a team, be more possession-based with pace, we're going to be very vulnerable to a lot of counterattacks. Do we need someone in the midfield who's got a bit more legs, a bit more pace, who can get back, who can stop the counterattacks and has the legs? Because it wouldn't be Garner, really. He's very much behind the ball, go and get at you. But I don't think tracking back, and I think Amadou Onana was a better fit for that. So we've got a lot of work to do in the summer. I mean, I've made my feelings very clear. We need a right back first choice. We probably want to look at upgrading Mykolenko, but it won't happen this season. I think we'll be prioritizing other things. You need competition there, though. Could you get someone a bit more attacking as another option at left back who can challenge him, and then maybe Mykolenko, if he doesn't sign his contract, he leaves or whatever. At midfield, are we going to improve on what we've got in there? We're going to get a bit more of a cultured player, a bit more of a cultured technical player in there. And on the right wing, I think that's an issue. I don't think McNeil is a natural right-sided winger. Everything is coming back on your left, and that does slow it down. And not every team is going to give you a lot of time to come on your left and whip in across, although as good as they are. So, and centre forward, as good as Beto is he a natural goal scorer? Do we need competition for Beto, someone of a real high standard who's going to fire you? And I think ultimately the main reason, we're 13th place, and we haven't had to do an awful lot for that. I think this team with a few more goals, if you were to stick it, you've got Ndai, Beto, both hitting double figures. If you can get another couple if you can get another striker who'll get you 15 or another, he's not really played many minutes, Beto. If you can get another striker in and you can get another winger who's going to score and replace Doucoure with someone who's got more of a natural goal scorer, maybe someone I miss like a Gylfi Sigurdsson who's going to chip in with quite a lot of goals and assists from midfield. That's how I feel about it. So there's a lot of work to do. We've got to get through this game first. I think Newcastle's going to give us a real difficult time, and I wouldn't be surprised, in all honesty, if it's a 3-0 to Newcastle. But how nice would it be, guys, if we can sign off with at least a point at Newcastle and make it horrible for them and frustrate them? I'll just look through final comments then. Peter Duggan, just a guy, he's 36 going on 37. Yeah, I didn't realize how old he is. Is he 37 this year? He's 35, but he's nearly 36. Most players retire around that age. I mean, it's a miracle that he's still going, to be fair, at 35. They don't normally go on and do 36 appearances at 35 years of age. 25 last year, 33 the year before. Obviously, Ghana, he wasn't quite as good last year as he was this year, and Onana took his place. Absolutely. And this is why I would have understood if every single player out of contract got another year. And then we went and started signing 4 or 5 first team players, right back, right mid, centre forward, and then gradually release some of the other older players and replace them with players of that higher level that we would sign this summer. But it looks like we're going to have an even bigger job to do because we're going to need first teamers and squad players. Maybe, but where is that link, Peter? John Stones in his Zimmer frame, injured. Maybe someone like him. Oh, tired. I'll just have a look at a couple more comments. Peter Heppel, I think he must be a Sunderland fan. Get them beat tomorrow. We're busy taking over Trafalgar Square and hopefully play your Toffees next season. Thank you. We like Sunderland. It's a proper club, isn't it? It's a proper club. Probably not. But we don't know what the ambition of this club is. I would have thought if we were just releasing those players like Doucoure, for me, it would have been a statement of intent that we are going for better, higher quality players. The fact we offered him a contract, the fact we offered younger contract in particular says to me, maybe we're not quite going to that level if we were offering a player that, for me, these are championship players, most of them. Agreed. Yeah, complete ornament. Yes, very, very decent, but not going to get you into Europe. I think since David Moyes came in, it was Everton are 10th in the league, but only 3 points behind Newcastle or 4 points behind the likes of Newcastle and Arsenal. So just maybe he's right. He wants to retain the group and push and add some real quality. And I think we need an Arteta. We need a Payne. We need a Yakubu. We need a Lukaku, who's just about to win the league with Napoli. Of course, he's about to win the league with Napoli. Everyone wins something when they leave Everton. But we need some players. As Eltal says, we need some quality all over the park. Right. Let me just see if I can get something up here. We are working on new logos for the channel, and it's becoming quite a chore to do it. So I'm going to show a few of them on the screen, and intrigued to know if anyone likes any of them. So there's the first one. So you can see we've got the stadium render at the top, the name, the channel name. When we established the brand, it's been going a lot longer than the YouTube channel. The river, underneath the heritage crest shield, a cross between heritage and a modern. I'll show you another one. This is another one I've done, a bit more flatter in design. The microphone with the old EFC style text in the center of it. and the Heritage as well. So I just see if there's any more. This has just been throwing me off because there's just trying to rebrand ahead of next season, really. I don't think you'll like this one, but I'll show you this one. This is a little bit more basic. This one is based on the dock wall, a little bit more simplified. I know people like this stadium, don't they? But do you see such intricate things on YouTube channels? Anyway, I'm going to show you some of the other ones, and then I'm going to wrap it up. So if you want to help me, by all means, stay on. So there's quite a lot of choice. I stuck with the theme. There's that one. You've still got the stadium. You've got the microphone at the bottom. Another variant with the mic, but a bit more of a full microphone with the old EFC in there. You need to specify which one, guys, because I don't know which one you're talking about. And then I said, do me one in a round logo. So you guys might not like this, or you may absolutely love this. But this is it's coming up now. Follow Everton. We've got the Heritage. It's a circular logo with royal blue. We've got the Bramley Moor dock, illustration style, the dock wall, the river. To be fair, I don't think the bricks work that well. I actually love this logo, but I don't think it was going to be. Yeah, you're saying that's good. This is why it's going to have to go to a public vote. And this is another blue one. You've got a stadium, the brick representing the cobblestones, the river, and the microphone. So, as you can tell, it has been a bit of a stress to try and do. So, that's the one. See? So, this one. This one. This one. This one. I mean, I like this because it's the stadium with the dot wall that it sits in front of, with the microphone representing us, and you got the river. It makes sense to me, but I get why people say it's like a Manchester City because it's kind of based on that style of a shield within a circle. And some of the members that have said they prefer the shield, they like the shield the best. That's another version of the shield. I'm assuming this one's a no-go. I'm assuming that's a no-go because the fan TV is too dominating. So what do you want? Do you want stadium? Do you want the mic? Do you want the simple one? Or do you want the round ones? Let me know. It does, but it's designed to look like a guitar player saying the round ones. Paws likes the shield. Peter saying none of the round ones. Elle saying likes the shield. And I'm going to do a little vote. I'll do a vote on the YouTube comment section, and you can give me your thoughts. No, Peter Collins, I'm not doing the tower. Every single channel has got the Everton tower on there. And I want to move away from the tower. I've never had the tower. I've always had the dock. I've had the Doucoure on the current logo. All the blue shield, one with the stadium is the best. It's just how that renders. Because to me, that isn't 100% accurate to the stadium. It's just kind of meant to look a little bit like it. Yeah, Rod Ross is saying he likes the old. Wonder if there's a way I can drop this. I'll drop this one on. Hang on. You're breaking my heart, baby. Can't you see? Let's get one more up. It'll go to a proper vote. And I haven't quite grabbed the colour on this one. I haven't quite... the shield one with the mic in the stadium, that's different, isn't it? That's the little mic at the bottom. Yeah, the intro music is... It's actually me playing, but I'm aware it needs modernizing, and this is the start. This has got to be the start of taking Follow Everton to another level ahead of next season. Robbie and Wes are back. As you can see, I've got a decent camera, a decent microphone now, so they're very different, aren't they? But do people just prefer the colours on this to that? Because I can... Go on, mate. Right, I'm leaving you. I love you all. I really appreciate you watching. I've had a really nice time the last 45 minutes. To Rod Ross, Eltel, guitar player, Peter Duggan, thank you so much. Shout out to Wormy Spoons as well. Peter Collins, Gaspipe, Pause. Much appreciated for watching. Emma and Shelley and everyone else who's been here. Thank you so much. Danny in there as well in the comments. We'll see you very soon. We'll be back for the pre-match build-up for Newcastle versus Everton on Sunday, bright and early, and then we'll be back for the post-match reaction, and hopefully then Robbie and Wes will be back to have a look at the last couple of weeks. And of course, I can tell you now, we are going to have so much transfer news. I'm going to be breaking all the stories, transfer news throughout the summer, so stay tuned. And if you like the sound of that, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much. See you soon.